On today's show, injury updates on Vardy, Richarlison and Grealish, a huge blow for Sheffield United. Chelsea announced their squad with a big name included, and why fullbacks are the way to go right now. This is the Fantasy Football Cheat Sheet, where we give you up-to-date injury news, predicted lineups, who to transfer in, and loads more, and all from official sources. The biggest fantasy football talking point this week takes us to the Premier League joint leaders, Everton. Is this right? Ancelotti has confirmed Allen is definitely out of game week 4, while Richarlison faces a late fitness test. He limped off with a nasty ankle injury during the week. They might be flying with Calvert-Lewin top goal scorer, but how much will the lack of the two Brazilians affect their attacking threat? By the way, don't forget to stick around for our predicted 11 section towards the end of the show. Who's joining the treatment room this week? The signs of Tottenham's ridiculous fixture schedule, that's a bit of a tongue twister, are finally taking its toll as Heung-min Son is injured. Jose hasn't 100% ruled him out, but things aren't looking great. Gareth Bale has been pictured putting the work in on the training ground this week. Hey, you like that one, didn't you? Come on. Game week 4 is going to be too early for the new number 9, but a return is very close. Dele Alli also returned on Thursday, dropping nutmegs and scoring penalties. It was at 6-2 up against a side whose best player couldn't even get in at QPR. So make your own mind up about that. Gabby Jesus and Mcguire are both out for the next few weeks, which means Raheem Sterling will be spending a bit of time up front. It makes a change from him spending all of his life on the floor though. That's a Sean Dyche quote, not ours. There's still no Gundogan or Zinchenko as Pep goes up against Marcelo Bielsa this weekend. Sheffield United's season went from bad to worse this week. Jack O'Connell, not the lad from Skins, come on, is set to miss the entire season having undergone knee surgery. Jack Robinson is likely to get the nod this weekend given he is more naturally suited to that left-sided role. But cheer up you Blades fans, it's not all bad. John Egan will return from suspension this week and Rhian Brewster looks set to sign, if it hasn't already by the time this video is released. He's a dirt cheap fantasy football pick and averaged a goal every other game at Swansea last season. He won't be available in game week 4 though. West Ham's Ryan Fredericks is definitely out of game week 4. It means a likely start for cheap defensive option Ben Johnson. He joins Tariq Mitchell and Jimmy Dunn as the cheapest starting defenders in fantasy football. Get him in, mind you, could leak a few goals. Now we've looked at all the new injuries, let's have a look at those who are currently out and whether there's any chance of them returning soon. Christian Pulisic has been named in the Chelsea squad for the first time this season. The American was a points machine last year and it won't be long before we're all scrambling to get him in our sides. He'll be looking to improve from his 9 goals and 6 assists from last year. We're expecting Chilwell and Mendy to come in after that stinking defensive display against West Brom last week. A Chelsea player has also made our players to transfer in this week, so stay tuned to find out who it is. There was a slight scare for Harry Mcguire after that EFL Cup game during the week, but Ollie said he'll definitely be playing this weekend. The same thing won't be said for Mason Greenwood and England though. Come on Gareth, surely one game is enough punishment. Jim White will be ironing his yellow tie in preparation for Monday's deadline day. The weekend is arguably more important off the pitch for United as it is on. Sancho and Dembele are the biggest rumours. I mean, they've been going on for months. It's not going to happen. But surely question marks remain over the board once again as to why they've left it so late. Jamie Vardy came off early after tearing Man City a new one last weekend. It was feared he could miss the weekend's action, but Rodgers confirmed both he and Johnny Evans will start against West Ham. We're expecting James Maddison to start too after he came on and put one in the top bins last weekend. Jack Grealish suffered a dead leg during the week, but there's no way it's affecting a lad with calves that size. Ross Barkley will be in the squad for game week 4, but it's hard to see Dean Smith changing a side that still has a 100% record this season. Their squad actually looks pretty decent, doesn't it? I don't know how that's happened. Staying in the Midlands, Daniel Podence is back in training for Wolves and a late decision will be made on him. If he is fit, he'll go straight into that starting 11. The left wing-back area is offering plenty of issues for Nuno right now as well. Johnny is out for months, Marcel isn't fit, and now they're selling Ruben Vinagre. I tell you what, Andy will not be happy. And you know what? There's a Brucey bonus this week with Alan Saint-Maximin set to be available for selection once again. Let's not forget how impressive his debut season was, which included a hat-trick of assists against Bournemouth back in July. I mean, it's only Bournemouth. Defensively, there are plenty of issues though. Lascelles and Kraft are both struggling while Clark and Dummett remain out. As always, in honour of the man who received 125 yellow cards and 6 reds, we take a quick look at who's suspended ahead of the weekend. Just like Fulham's existence in the Premier League, this is going to be a brief one this week. Kieran Gibbs is the only man serving a suspension in the entire Premier League. It's also worth noting both Jack Harrison and Michy Batshuayi are eligible to face their respective parent clubs this week. Harrison in particular has been a popular pick so far this season. Who should we be getting into our teams this week? If you haven't been living under a rock, you'll know that penalties are really easy to get this season. At this rate, the amount of pens is set to treble, but during the week, it's been reported that referees are going to have more leniency around handballs, but that still means Eric Dyer's pen would have been given. So, is it really going to improve? To my left are all the Premier League penalty takers, alongside our usual 3 picks. We're strongly recommending you consider some of these names, particularly while referees absolutely have no clue what they're doing in this early part of the season. Right, on to the players to transfer in. Look, don't do anything rash and lose faith in Timo Werner. Yes, it's not been an electric start, but this guy is too good not to start smashing it soon. Although Chelsea were poor against West Brom, they did score 3 and Werner did hit the bar. And the German scored his first goal for the Blues during the week too. Chelsea's next 2 games are at home to Palace and Southampton, which should be the perfect couple of games for him to make his mark in the league. Leicester's fullbacks in recent history have been unbelievable. Chilwell, Herrera, Fuchs, and now this Castagna. The Belgian has either scored or assisted in every Premier League game so far this season, and their next 2 games are at home to West Ham and Aston Villa. Get him in. When you think of Liverpool fullbacks, it feels like much more attention gets put on Alexander-Arnold. But Robbo is slightly cheaper and so far this season is outshining Trent. The left back already has 1 more goal, has put 8 more crosses into the box and has also taken 7 more corners. So save a little bit of extra cash and spend elsewhere, or get them both in. Let's get some predicted lineups coming your way. And I'm not a psychic, by the way. I know I look like it, but these lineups are based on all the information that we've read. Ultimately, we don't know what the gaffers are thinking, but we've done our best anyway. Right then, that's all from us. Just before I leave you, I've got to remind you all about our Dream Team fantasy football game. We've got a new and exciting subscription service for you this year called Dream Team Coach. It offers projected scores, fixture difficulty rating, projected price changes, and loads more if you're looking for that extra detail when you're picking your team. It's available really easily in the app and there's a link in the description below. Let us know what you thought of our show in the comments. Tell all your mates about us. We're working hard every week to give you the most informative video on the internet for fantasy football. And let us know what your teams are going to look like. Have you got any obscure picks? How's your season gone so far? Anything, honestly. Okay, I'm off. I'm going to shut up. Good luck. See you later. Have a good weekend.